Hi, my name's Fish Krakowski, and this is my friend, Jar Jar Binks. No, it's Curtis Ross. He's a local musician.
It's me.
And we're both pretty jazzed, I think. We're both electrified about the new Star Wars trailer, Episode 9, which is called Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. So, I don't know, you want to talk about the name? What do you think about the name?
The name was totally surprising. We were giving each other fake names for the last year of names, and nothing like Rise of Skywalker came out of our dumb jokes of names we thought it would be. So it's really ambiguous. Is it about Kylo? Is it about Rey? Is it about Anakin? Luke?
Yeah.
A new guy? Girl?
Yeah.
Person?
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
But it also follows the third movie pattern of having like the R of something, which I like Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. But what do you think about? I mean, obviously anybody who's watched the trailer is going to have heard that cackle at the end. So like, how do you feel about that?
Bold play to bring the Emperor back. We don't know how they're doing it, but I can't help but be super excited about Emperor.
Yeah, it's really exciting because he's a character. He'd be the only like non-robot who was sort of had an impact through all 9 movies, and I think it's just a really good idea. Maybe he's a clone. Maybe he survived the destruction of the Death Star. There is a scene in the trailer that we just watched, the teaser, where and not everybody notices it, but there's a wrecked Death Star sitting in this kind of ocean. So maybe he like surfed that down to the planet or something. Like that's the Century Moon.
Yeah,
like, nobody knows. He could be a clone. He could be a ghost. Like that's still a mystery, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah, and so, I mean, how do you feel about J.J. Abrams being able to pull this off?
It's funny because I've been a huge hater of The Force Awakens, like one of the first and loudest people to be just like, oh my God, it's just like Star Wars again. You've just remade Star Wars down to the point where you have like a hexagonal exhaust port that you shoot a torpedo down and that's how you blow another Death Star up. But I think that what I like about this is that he seems to be throwing, like if you bring the Emperor back, that makes not only the original series kind of more interesting, it even actually goes all the way back to the prequels, and it adds something to the prequels, which is something I always want in these big saga movies.
Midi-chlorians.
Yeah, right. So Nathan, who works at the Journal here, he just walked in and suggested that Rey was created by midichlorians. But I mean, you know, maybe can you talk about like Rey and the new characters? I mean, you know, we heard Luke saying like 1,000 generations live in you now.
Yeah.
So it's like this is clearly they're finally really. Like, you're not necessarily taking the oxygen out of the room by having, like, Han Solo or Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, the closest to a legacy character they seem to have is, well, they have a little bit of Carrie Fisher, but I don't imagine there'll be much more than, like, sort of cameo, wrap up her story a bit. And then they have Lando, which is, you know, fun.
Yeah.
I like Lando. He's fun.
And he's flying the Falcon again, which is, you know, I'm appreciating that kind of if you snap that together like Lego with the Solo movie, where his robot girlfriend is actually like the hyperdrive computer and all that. So maybe we'll get a little wink at that. But
yeah, I think that what I can tell, it's a teaser trailer. They're not giving much information, but you definitely see it's Rey and Kylo. That's the first 2 characters that you see in the trailer, and that's going to be about them. The other characters like Poe and Finn. Finn was kind of a side character in the last movie, and maybe they're going to make him a little bit more engaging this time. I like Poe a lot. Feeling that they're just going to be like a leadership kind of guy in this.
We were talking about as well. We were talking about the sort of directorial style of it. I mean, you know, there's a scene of Kylo Ren like hacking people. It looks like a Kurosawa thing in the forest or stuff like that. Even just that, like, you know, it's like Rey versus Kylo Ren and a TIE interceptor. That's obviously like, you know, she's tough. I don't know how they get there.
I get the feeling that they're going to be showing force use and force powers bigger than we've ever seen it. Like, this is the big finale, the big last movie. So you're going to, like, my guess is Rey's going to be like tossing giant ships out of the sky. Kylo's going to be doing a similar thing. We might even be seeing these Force ghosts of like the Emperor and Yoda and Luke and Darth Vader or Anakin, fighting each other in the astral plane kind of thing. So it's like I can see them really just throwing the whole kitchen sink into this and making it like let's end it with a big giant party.
But it was also nice to hear Abrams sort of talk about how the fact that while this has to capstone all 9 movies, it also has to be its own movie. Do you think that the same thing will happen where you have like Lando Calrissian and you have the Emperor, you have Luke's voice in there? Like, do you think that stuff's going to get in the way? Like, how do you think? He's
I'm not even sure that stuff's going to be in the movie. They have this whole new generation of Star Wars movies, the new trilogy and Rogue One and Solo, have a really bad track record of showing a bunch of stuff in the trailers that's not in the movies at all, or like completely different in the movie. So there's always a bit of fake out in these trailers. So I'm not like totally sure that everything we see or hear is going to be in the movie, or even in the way that they're like, making it seem.
Yeah.
So maybe the Emperor's laugh is like they have a hologram recording of him from 40 years ago or something like that.
I think people would be really mad about that.
Yeah.
Like, I think if they do that. But I mean, what do you want from this last one? I mean, in terms of how do you want it to wrap up? How do you want it to wrap up the entire trilogy? Or I mean,
I don't know if I
what
have
do you call it? What do you call a 9-part trilogy?
Nine-tology.
Nine-ology. Yeah, anyway.
Something.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a set thing. It's more like I'll know it when I see it, which sounds kind of like a cop-out, but I want it to not suck. I want it to be, it seems like what they've done with this new trilogy is the first one was too referential to the originals, and it wasn't quite, original of an idea happening throughout the entire movie. Like the story was just a little too, mirror image.
And then the second one seemed to be just put in place to just wreck
everyone's ideas of Star Wars, which I actually love the movie.
I
think
too,
Last Jedi is great.
Yeah.
So he has a real task to clean this one up to match what those 2 movies did, plus finish the whole thing. I think you need to really resolve what the Force is and what it's going to be in this galaxy, because otherwise it's the same cycle that keeps happening. Good light fighting each other, or bad light side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the Emperor, if he is the one cause of all of this for 9 movies, great. And then we have to see that finally ended.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's it. We're jazzed. I mean, we're very excited about it, which I'm impressed.
We are.
Wasn't
jazzed.
thrilled when I heard that
jazzed.
Abrams was directing again, but he's got a great ear for dialogue. He's got a great sense of speed, and his camera works good and everything. So I just hope he makes the world building stuff. This is the point where the world building stuff most matters, and it can't end like Lost.
And he's a little sloppy, and let's hope that he has some help to tighten up that sloppiness that he's sort of known for.
Okay, well.
Now do your best Jar Jar voice.
These people are gonna die.
It's pretty good, right?
Yeah, I hope that guy's in it.